Belly laugh.
You know how to kill them. We are the Dance Party Man crew.
What is everybody doing?
Belly laugh.
Yeah, I'm so excited, like, for this meeting.
Level 1 doesn't have any, you don't have to be a belly dancer already, or you don't have to have a practice belly dancer. You don't have to be a professional belly dancer. Dancing and teaching are two completely different things. They're two completely different worlds. Dancing comes from a place of me, which is nothing wrong with it, but you want to learn it. You want to feed yourself. You want to perform it. You want to share, and it's more like your private journey. Our job before becoming teacher is to have that desire to hold a space for other women when there's no judgment. We're all different, thank God. There's no competition. We are in the light. I'm sure you have friends, family, people in your neighbor, or some sort of women that you want to share this incredible art that is dancing in general, music, dancing. So there's nothing more powerful than for you to hold a space where you bring other women, put music on, and you move your body. If you start from that place, that's what this course is for. You need to have a desire to create that. For me to start from level 1, number one thing I require is for you to create a community that you crave, a community of women that you crave, that you feel like there's nothing around, you feel lonely, like we all do. There's a loneliness when women don't work together. There is when you don't have your family. If you have lots of female in your family, there is a sense of we feed off each other, love, emotion. So the art of belly dance allows you to completely abandon your body to this ancestral sound, to this ancestral movement. The society wanted us to stop doing, moving those hips. It's in our bones. And these hips have been stopped and disconnected from us for so many centuries because the power of those hips, it's ginormous. That's what belly dancing does. It's not just a sense of community with women, the joy of moving the body, but it's an ancestral call. I always say that. There's something that you feel like your grandmother or daughters have done. And once you move those hips again, there's a memory in your body that reawaken. So belly dancing is a reawakening of our body to not only move again and expressing its own language, or what I call the language of the soul, but also moving those hips, you're shaking off so much conditioning, so many stored emotion that your body is being stored, especially as a woman. And I've done lots of YouTube podcasts and videos in which I talk about us women being considered too much, and that too muchness forced us to shrink, not just physically, but with our voice, with our emotions, without questioning too much. And I always say, craving things on the low, even those continuous dieting, continuous not asking questions, continuing say yes to things that you as a good girl has to do. So all that shrinking, it's made us store so much in our body that when we move it again, whoa, magic happens. Things get released. You feel free again. When I started belly dance, I've been doing it. Well, belly dance I've been doing for more than 20 years, but teaching belly dance has been 15 years. when I was teaching belly dancing, I thought women literally changed in my class, and you will see in your classes, unless you're already teaching and you're just getting a certificate, because quite a few of you are already teachers, just want a structure. And I could see women changing, literally the way they enter the room, they change. And I thought it was just the dance, you know, you learn to, I always say with belly dancing, you learn not to want to change your body, you learn how to carry your body, perfect, just the way it is. You literally learn how to carry this incredible tempo for us women that we haven't got a clue how to carry. You can have the most incredible body for society, for yourself, you still don't know how to carry it. So you learn how to carry it. So I thought it was just that, you know, they're just learning to feel it, just the way they are, just feel it and feel it in a good way. But little did I know that belly dancing is involuntarily working on the chakras. So yoga specifically works with specific movement on the chakra. And I can tell you this because I now got quite a few yoga teachers that became belly dance teachers, and all of them came to me and said, Claudia, I can't believe how belly dancing get even more in depth with the chakras. Belly dancing, because the movement are very circular. So you're opening those chakras in such a gentle way, in a very feminine way, means it allows you to go even deeper and deeper in those chakras. So that says that women are not really changing in the way they walk and learning to carry their body. They're literally releasing so many emotions. So bring the sense of community, bring the power of women together, bring this incredible art form together, you can change people's life. We bring joy to, I always say, I get paid to bring joy to people. I get paid to bring people back to joy when I bring them back. And dancing is so underrated. Give back their body to women by bringing them joy, by allowing them to dance. And again, nobody invented dance. Yeah, I always say that. Nobody invented dance. It's in our bones. But what you're doing with belly dancing, you're reawakening their rhythm, that desire to dance, but you're also teaching them a new language to do it. So belly dancing is a new language for them to move their body. And once they channel it, at the beginning it's hard, but once they channel their language, they will feel it in a completely different way, and they will interpret it in a very different way. So level 1 belly dance teacher training program. So the level 1 will give you the foundation of everything. We have compulsory isolations that we'll learn, and then you will put them together into more layering with level 2. With level 1 is divided into 4 parts, as you can see. So I'm going to read it: Discovering the Heart of Belly Dance. Welcome to the foundational stage of your journey with Dance for the Mind Teacher Training course. This level 1 module is designed to provide you with the essential knowledge and skills needed to embark on a fulfilling and enriching career as a belly dance instructor. This course is divided into 4 different sections. I divided into those sections for a very specific reason. As you know, we're called Dance Body Mind. So I wanted to give attention to each part of the dance, the body and the mind. But also for me, the most important one, which how to start your business. Because I find I've done a lot of courses myself. And once you've got all the knowledge, why people come and pay you? That's the hardest part. Okay. Although with this certificate now, you can have it, you can work in gyms because we are recognized by the Registered Exercise Professional, and I'm working on making it recognized by SIMPS as well. So if any of you is a fitness instructor, SIMPSA, I think it's another very important body recognition that's all around the world. I think perhaps it's all around Europe, but you know, that gives you the structure of the course. I wanted to make it very knowledgeable on a fitness point of view, especially if you bring it in gyms. Because what happened with belly dance classes sometimes, and I heard it a lot, and that's why I created this teacher training, they tend to be a bit boring on a gym environment. because of all the isolation that you have to learn, teachers put a lot of part on the repetition of the isolations, and you can only get a certain age group of participant. Actually, this should be for any age group. So we want to make the class dynamic. We want the structure to be dynamic, and we don't want to put too much work on the isolation at the beginning, because first of all, the brain can only take so much. So especially for beginner, when we start with chest isolation, you will see that we'll get frustrated, especially with the chest, and then we get frustrated with the shimmy. When you see the frustration, you need to swap into the next exercise. You need to swap into traveling steps. You need to make the class very dynamic so that people want to come back. Every class, you want your student to end up the class with a sense of satisfaction, not just, oh my God, this is so hard, because you want them to come back. So you need to provide all of this in a class, and that's so important. That's why the way that we created this format will give you all of that together. Part one is the dance. So we're going to go through the philosophy behind dance post body mind, which is what I've just told you. Behind everything, there is a motivation on why you want to do it. Also, through the course, especially everything will be online on a manual or online. So it's a program that you, at the end of each part or at the end of each module, you will have to answer questions. There will be a lot of quiz and questionnaires, and also a lot of coaching, because I'm a life coach as well. So there's a lot of coaching questions that will always remind you why you're doing this. There's a lot of questions that will remind you why you're doing it. Don't get too much into the technical part. Always remember your big why. So there will be a lot of it's an interesting journey, even for introspection for yourself in your life, not just belly dancing. Okay. So the philosophy, the history of belly dancing, which is obviously very important, but we'll go really in depth with the history on level 2. Now, class format, which is very specific. We have 6 sections in each class, which you will see in the module. We start always with a dynamic warm-up, which lasts usually 5 minutes. Then we go straight to belly dance drills, and I will explain in a minute what drills are. Then we do traveling step, 5 minutes of traveling step. And belly dance drill and traveling steps, usually we combine them together depending on how the classes do it. Then we got the part of technique where we explain the isolation, and it's usually not more than 10 minutes. We don't want to do more than 10 minutes. And then we do a choreography. It can be a choreography that they're learning for a performance, or a choreography that you just want to teach them for 20 minutes on that class. So this I found through the years is the best way to structure the class, in which you give them technique, but also traveling steps. Traveling steps usually is the part where the cardio really goes up and they have lots of fun. And also the brain works in different ways. And the drills are usually a repetition of the movement that the class has learned on the previous class, or if your first class, they are the easiest technique bar, for example, shoulder shimmies. So dynamic warm-up, so you will have example of dynamic warm-up for level 1. Drills, upper body and lower body drills. So upper body drills are shoulder shimmy, arms. They are all the little repetition that you do depending on the technique part. For isolation, we have upper body, lower body isolation. The compulsory isolations for level 1 are finger and wrist isolations, arms isolations, shoulders isolation, chest isolations, pelvic isolations, hips isolations, and also hip drop, figure 8, all different combinations with the hips that we're going to be doing. Yeah, and also full body undulation and chest isolation. External circle, internal circle, or Maya, what people call Maya. So these are the compulsory isolation from which are the foundations of belly dance, from which we will start layering in level 2.
Hi everyone, this is a little taster of your teacher training. This is level 1 first, and then we're going to do level 2 with another video. So with level 1, we are going through all the compulsory isolations that you need to learn in order for you to then layer them together and create movement that are more for level 2. And it's very important that you work on level 1 and understand what muscles specifically we're going to isolate. From the shoulders, we're going to break break down exactly what muscles you're going to isolate. Chest, up, down, forward, back, circle, wrist. Really, you want to keep the dynamicity in every part of you. Never let it go. Neck, face. We're going to learn all the full body undulations with the shoulder shimmy. We're going to put them together. Undulation. Then the powerhouse, which is our pelvic area. We're going to really discover how to activate your pelvic area. You will see so many of your students will have, I've had in my classes a lot of students that didn't have period pain anymore. They've had such a disconnection with our pelvic and our womb that with belly dance you discover it and you find, oh wow. So we're going to take some classes which will really take some time to learn how to engage your pelvic area together with your glutes. Another very powerful thing that we're going to learn. All of this comes from the glutes. And I'm going to give you specific exercises. Instead of doing the big movement, you're going to really activate those specific muscles that you will learn to create this beautiful beginner's belly dance exercises, isolation. The trick is lots of repetition and really break down to your students what muscles they are engaging specifically with that movement. That will require a lot of patience and a lot of breaking down that you will need to do, especially when it comes to, for example, chest lock and pops. Also with the shimmy, we're going to find out and really learn how to help them shimmy from their knees, understand how to not lock their knees, especially when they're doing upper lower body isolation, all this beautiful internal hip circle, figure eight, and lots of traveling steps. They're going to learn beautiful Arabic 1, 2, 3, all the chasse, and step, touch, walking in undulations, and lots of more beautiful traveling steps, and then you're going to put together to create your choreography.
There's a musicality, timing, and phrasing, cueing part, and 5 Arabic rhythm on level 1 that I found a lot of you, maybe not you personally, but a lot of you struggling with putting together choreography. So I made that part longer. I've added new videos. Basically, not everybody's struggling with cueing and counting and phrasing. So you have videos, because I'm a musician as well. You have videos in which I explain to you, really, it's like a 45 minutes video, because a lot of you get certified and then they struggle. You can also take my choreography, because you'll have access to the, if you want to join after, to the teacher mentorship network, you can access to my choreography that I teach to my students. So you can literally copy those. Also, because you can perform with us, you can have your student performing the same choreography with that, I don't know, but you can teach your own choreography. But I saw how a lot of you were struggling with creating a choreography. With the right and the left, with the 1 and 2 and 3, literally putting a movement to each count, a lot of you were struggling. So I dedicated a big video in which I break it all down. You will learn what is a phrase, you will learn what is an upbeat, what a downbeat, what a quarter tempo, what a full-time tempo, so that you learn where to put the movement in that song. The dance, we finish part 1. So we start with the body part. So you will have anatomy and physiology of belly dance movement. So there will be pictures that really show you what muscles you are engaging with that specific movement. The mind. There's a brief actually there's no brief introduction. You have a full bonus chakra belly dance full course. A lot of you are doing it. It's incredible. I gave it to you for free because it's magnificent. It's once you discover and you do it to yourself. So this is not for you to teach it. This is for you to do it. And it's also for you to understand what's happening to your students. But once you practice for yourself, it's very profound, to the point that a A lot of you are asking me to do a chakra belly dance facilitator course, so you can start teaching it. Now, the secret to starting your business. So once you get it all together, we're going to go down a little bit of coaching session there. So you really want to find out, why will people pay for me? So you're asking yourself, why do people come and pay for me? Because what you're offering is yours and yours only. And we're going through a lot of very deep questioning and coaching session there, where you really want to find your strength. Really know what you bring to people. It's so clear. You need to know it. And also clarify your relationship with money, which I know a lot of us are mixed up with. So, and that's the end of level 1. To get certified, we will require for you to answer all the questions on like right. Well, some are questionnaires, some are more like coaching to find out what your journey is. So you'll be surprised when you get to the end. And we need you to submit that 3 minutes choreography that you've created and teach a class for 15 minutes. Now, that class doesn't have to be with people. Yeah, because a lot of you are struggling to put in people together. As long as you film yourself teaching a class, the structure, the way we have taught you how to do it, that is safe, effective, and fun, which are the main word with our course. So you're teaching, I think, is 3 minutes warm-up, 3 minutes of your favorite upper body and lower body isolations, 3 minutes of traveling step, 3 minutes choreography. You choose your favorite of all of them. And you film yourself and you submit that one. But we also need you to teach 5 friends or anybody that gives you a feedback. We don't need to see the video of that, but we need to see their feedback, positive and negative, so that you start the practice. Just grab a friend. 5, we need 5 feedback. Yeah, don't have to be the full class, but start teaching, get into the practice. Now, once you've done all of this, you get certified. You can do that by coming in the studio, or you can literally do it online. Once you got the certificate, you can start working for gyms. So literally bring belly dance. I always say, start with bringing belly dance to your gym. Talk to the manager. I say always to everybody, go to your local gym. If you remember already, go and speak to the manager. Do a pilot class. Prepare it. Do a pilot class, promote it to all their female members. Just do it like that. Or go to your local community center. Go to your hire a studio. The best way to make money, if you're doing this to make money, is obviously hiring a studio. You charge people, you can make from £100 per hour to £100 per hour, but you need regularity. So I will always suggest to do gym, in which they pay you £25–30 per hour. At least you have your clients every week, and gently maybe start build up on the side. Unless you already have your favorite nail shop, favorite hairdresser, favorite, that you know all the girls there, you need to trust me when I say that. When I tell women that I teach belly dancing, they go, I want to learn it. I always wanted to learn it, but I don't know how to do it. Women want to learn it, especially nowadays. It's reclaiming that body back. Just repeat that. We do belly dance classes to empower women, to make you reclaim your body back, to make you reclaim your self, your sensuality. This is the hour for you and yourself only. Trust me, you create that community, they're never gonna leave you. Never gonna leave you. But it's for you to do that first step and have that courage to do it at the beginning. And like I always say, sexy, it's allowing women to feel sexy. And I say in all my classes this, and I remember the first time my teacher told me, Claudia, I want you now to dance and feel sexy. When someone asks you to feel sexy, there's always that reaction to, how do I do sexy? Like, what do I strip? What do I touch myself? How do I do sexy? And I love what she said. I'm seeing a cat there, right? And she said to me, listen, do you see when cats wake up in the morning and they stretch? Oh, just feel that body, and they're in that zone, they're in their intimate. Do you think they care? You're looking at them more. They're just doing it for themselves. And then it came to me like, sexy is not a look. Sexy is not how you do it. Sexy is a feeling. It's feeling good. It's doing that movement that makes you feel. Imagine like even moving your shoulders. And it's not a look. It's feeling good. It's your intimate space. And if someone is looking, it could even irritate you. That's what sex is. That's what you created for this woman. A place that is safe for them to feel pleasure. So, saying that, you are a belly dance instructor, level 1. Okay, so now we're going into level 2. That's where we get, I would say level 2, it's yes for teaching, but also for you. Really, if you want to get into the history and knowledge of belly dancing, especially Egyptian style, it's so important. I'm gonna put my glasses because I'm a little blind. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna read here. Building upon the foundation laid in level 1 or level 2 belly dance is really designed to elevate your expertise and expand your repertoire as a belly dance instructor. Level 2 delves deeper into the art of science of belly dance, empowering you to guide your students through more advanced technique and choreographies. 5 parts. First part is more advanced movement and exploration. So we're going to layer all the isolation that we learned in level 1. Part 2 is cultural immersion. We're going to really get into this different Egyptian style of belly dance, going through Baladi, Saidi, classical raqs, Sharqi, Egyptian cabaret style, Shabi and mid-dance. Then we're going through musical mastery. You're going to learn, while in level 1, we study the 5 more famous Arabic rhythm, Waladi, Maksum, Marfu, Falai, Saidi. Here we're going to learn how to, for example, learn the Baladi progression. So the Baladi style, which is not the rhythm in this case, how to study a mejans, a taksim, how to study a drum solo, tabla solo, and how to bring back Tarab songs, the all-time classical Tarab songs. Also, we're going to study about legendary singers and dancers in Egyptian belly dance. The Golden Era legend, Naga Fouad, Samia Gamal, Taya Carioca, Naima Akef, Rakia San, Fifi Abdul Dina, Tito Seif, Randa Kamal, many more, but these are the ones that I would say are really the Egyptian legend. Influential singers and composer, Kulthum, Adel Alim Hafez, Mohamed Abdel Wahab. Okay, so you're going to really get into the all-time classical, legendary music, not only belly dancers, but also those that made a difference into the world, into the belly dance world as singers and composers. And at the end, we're going to creative expression and branding, artistic branding, create your own artistic identity, develop your own website to set you apart in the world of belly dance. We're going to help you build your website if you want to. That will be for free. We already got a website that help you to create, to really get more into your personal identity as a teacher. Now, let's start with the technique part. So, in level 1, we've studied all the upper body and lower body isolations. We remember shoulders isolation, wrist isolations, hands isolation, chest isolation, hips isolation, pelvic isolations. Now with level 2, we're going to learn to layer all these isolations with traveling steps. Meaning, the dynamic warm-up will be much different because we're really going to work now on points and really work all the articulations of the body because we're going to go on our toes a lot. And layer with upper body isolation, so shoulder shimmy with chasse or step touch or just marching flat foot and on your toes. Upper body shimmy, shoulders shimmy, chest lock, chest undulation, full body undulation with traveling steps. So that becomes really challenging, mind and body together working, because your brain has just learned. That's why the level 1 is so important, that you learn all these isolations so that you can then layer them with traveling steps. We're not layering them with shimmy yet. That will be probably more level 3. We're layering everything with shimmy. In this level, you're layering with traveling steps. Also, we are introducing the so famous, not really so famous, but traveling step with hip work. So you will understand why rat shark or belly dancing is so different. And these are things that you give for granted as a belly dancer, as a teacher, but so important. Adding hips isolation or glutes contraction while you're doing a traveling steps, that's what makes it rat sharky, belly dancing. So these are all knowledge that you will learn by doing that. We're going to learn 3/4 up, 3/4 down, single up, single down, and we're going to layer them with upper body isolation. It's a lot of names together, but they will all make sense. And it's a lot of work on the hips, isolations, right? So that's why with level 1, it's so important that you understand what muscles you are exactly contracting. So the brain needs to, okay, I got it. What do I do with it next? You need to become, in a way, boring to do it, so that we bring the excitement out of all the traveling steps. Level 2 is more challenging than level 1. We're going to do lots of drills. In terms of technique, we're mainly going to learn the dual, vertical, horizontal dual. We're going to learn all the 3/4 traveling steps. So you're going to do a lot of things with your hips while you're traveling. We're going to learn the Maxum step. These are the main steps that we're going to be learning. And shimmy onto another level. Shimmy from the hips, shimmy from the knees, how to layer the shimmy, shimmy on your toes, choo-choo shimmy, shimmy like another level of shimmy. And you're going to learn where the shimmy comes in different part of your body, and how you can actually, once you understand it from your brain, how you can actually activate different shimmies. So for example, when we're doing shimmy and undulation, you're going to learn to shimmy from your knees and shift the knee shimmy into the hip shimmy. So it's more complicated to say, and it's not easy to achieve, but there's a lot of patience that we need in level 2. So there will be a lot of drills. The technique part, as I say, is mainly dual step, which is the famous dual step, which is the Egyptian, I would say, one of the Egyptian signature movement. Everything comes from the center. And Maxum step, and yeah, lots of 3/4 and lots of drills and shimmies. Then we're going to learn a very good dynamic warm-up. We want to really warm up every part of our body on level 2, because we're working a lot with joint and wrist. And then styles, right? So you're going to learn style, and we're offering different choreographies. Baladi style, not the Baladi rhythm. So Baladi, we have the rhythm, which we will learn from level 1, which is dum dum tak dum tak dum 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 tak dum tak. It's a dum dum. It's a very earthy ballad. It's from the countryside, so it's a dance that is, it's really from the village. It's really from the countryside. It's really earthy. The hips are really heavy. It's on an energetic and chakra level. It's really strong on the root and the sacral chakra. So any of you that needs to really work on those 2 chakras, you really want to Baladi yourself out. But Baladi style is not the Baladi rhythm. There is definitely a Baladi rhythm in the Baladi style, but it's a long progressions of rhythm. This is what we'll be learning with level 2. Most of the songs that we're going to be working on level 2 have a progression. They're not the same rhythm. Baladi usually start with a taksim. We will learn what a taksim is. It's an instrument, and it's a specific sound that if we work on an energetic level as well, it's what my teacher used to tell me. When we belly dance, the movement needs to come from within. It needs to come from your pelvic area. It needs to come from your womb. That's when we become not dancers. We are becoming artists. We're becoming performer. We're becoming spiritual being. So with a Baladi, you need to be first fiercely selfish. It's a style. My teacher used to tell me, only when you become a woman, you can dance Baladi. And I used to go mad because I was like I was 20, and he told me you need to be a woman to feel the Baladi. And I used to remember not being happy about it because I'm like, but no, you need to feel it. You need to be, have given so much love to the world, and now it's time to give it to yourself. And then I became a woman. I'm like, my God, wasn't that true? Baladi is a sense of rebellion against all the voices that are calling you, your children, your husband, your pet, your family. It's me time on a feminine level, on an energetic level. And there are these continuous two forces that work on the Baladi, which I adore. Now it makes sense to me. When, isn't it? When, oh, do you want to say something? Yes.
In our culture, in the Gulf countries, we use baladi dance as a way for the woman to communicate with the man in the wedding night. Usually we buy like the baladi outfit to let the girl like break the ice between her and her husband. And like it's another way to start like the sex life between her and her husband in our Gulf countries, because you know it's one of the taboos. And I just wanted to add this comment.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Oh, that's so beautiful what you just said, because the Baladi is the language of you authentic soul. And what I was saying before, because it works a lot on sacral and root chakra, is the real woman in you that communicates, that you communicate in a different language, but your true self with your future husband. So how intimate and beautiful is this? And yes, so thank you for adding this. And so the Baladi is, there is always this force that work on a Baladi, which is this slow movement, this take it in and taratan. So there is this continuous taking and giving, but everything starts from the womb. So we do exercises in which we don't stop moving until we feel it. Then it has to be authentic, has to come from your soul, has to come from years and years of not listening to yourself, years and years of listening to everybody by yourself, years and years of doing things you didn't want to do. Baladi is a moment of move only when your womb, when your soul wants you to move, and the movement comes from down there. And because a lot of us are so disconnected with our womb, with our vagina, with our pelvic area, it will take time. But once you learn to listen to that and move from that, everything comes from your most authentic part, comes from pleasure, real pleasure. You know, like it's that moment of sacred chakra, real reclaiming your worthiness of receiving pleasure as well. So Baladi is probably, the way I'm talking, is one of my favorite style. And it's a woman, you rediscover yourself. So there will be a lot of spiritual exercises we do with the Baladi as well. But that's, again, there's a progression, so that you can start with a taksim in which you go inward. So you hear this sound, beautiful, and if you start the Baladi thinking there's an audience, it doesn't come from authenticity. Another thing my teacher used to tell me was, with Rakshaki, belly dance in general, but especially with Baladi, the audience needs to come. Anybody watching, they wanna, you don't do it for them, right? You do it, but it comes from down here, so that people they come to you, right? Because it's such a beautiful, intimate moment. And so that's Baladi, and there's a progression, and usually, as we say, we use different rhythms, and we most of the time end up with a falai, with a very fast rhythm, and you release everything. Then we have Saidi, and it comes from more Upper Egypt, and it started as a dance for men with the stick, but then a lot of women are doing it. And Saidi is very much more, it's very grounding as well, but it's a much more lively, up-tempo style. Again, there could be different rhythm using on a Saidi style, and we're going to explore it. Then we got the classical rag sharki. They usually, classical rag sharki usually uses Tarab music. Tarab songs are songs that are usually legendary, very emotional, like Kulthum was one of the major singers. We'll explore all of that. And it's the classical rag sharki, Egyptian rag sharki, that Fifi Abdu, Nagwa Fuad, dancers of old school that we're going to study and we're going to watch videos on. Now we're going to talk about Egyptian cabaret style, which is the style in which at one point in Egypt, people started opening nightclubs and everything became a little bit more like a show, and the cabaret style became famous with Hollywood. But before the cabaret style, we had this rag sharki classical. So a lot of people, a lot of you knows the Egyptian cabaret style, but it's a bit more of a show, like a theater show, rather than maybe going into the depth of the origin of rag sharki. And then we have Shabi, which is straight hip hop belly dance, which is a lot of fun, and you will learn some style with that. So a different movement. And then we have Mejans. Mejans is the one that a lot of Ukrainian and Argentinian belly dancers use. It's a mix between belly dance and more ballet. I mean, Argentina created this fantastic style of Mejans. There is belly dance with tango movement, the legs. I don't know if you've seen some Argentinian belly dance do a lot of tango with their legs. So Mejans is the most modern style that you've probably seen a lot of belly dance competition, and it does use more jazzy movement, classical ballet movement. It's a bit more up here. It's a bit upper rather than grounding, like the traditional rag sharki. So all this style you will learn with level 2. So you start understanding when you're watching them on YouTube or Instagram, all these belly dancers, especially the new generation of Ukrainian, Russian, and Argentinian, South American belly dancers. They're mixing it all together. I don't know if anybody knows of Diva Darina. She's created her own style. But there's a lot of contamination, which I think is someone does it with their own style. It's good, but it's important to know the classical rag sharki. Musicality mastery. We're going to not just learn the style, but understand the progression that we may have in a drum solo, in a balladi progression, in a taksim, in a Mejans, and bring back Tarab music. Then I'm going to show you videos and discuss together fantastic legendary belly dancer, because it's so important to know who they were, how much they've done for rag sharki, oriental dancing. Nagwa Fuad, Samia Gamal, Tanya Carioca, Naima Kef, Rakia San, which is one of my teachers, Fifi Abdu, which is, I think Fifi Abdu and Dina were the two women that I could watch for hours. It was on their TV. Randa Kamal, which is still a legend now, doing incredible workshop everywhere. And she has a very specific style. And also we're gonna learn about the 3 main influential singer and composers, Kulthum and Abdel Ali Mafez and Mohammed Abdel Wahab, and listen to their pieces and understand what they did for rag sharki. So level 2, it's a lot, but it's fabulous. It will require you to apply more. Level 1, as I say, people did it in 1 week, 2 weeks, so you can buy them together, just go in full immersion. But I wanted you to understand the reason why I wanted the level 1 to be specifically for the technique and the reason why, on a spiritual level, love belly dancing, why belly dancing is so powerful. While level 2, we're going really more in depth into the history and understanding these incredible legends, and really honor them and really study what they did and watch and watch and watch. This is how I learned, by being obsessed with those videos. We'll never forget it. At the end, I think we can work a bit more on your branding, on your name. Again, we can help you create your own website. It's very important that you doing all this work, you really got into, and on a business side, we're going to get a little bit more in depth. There are beautiful videos that are created online as well for you to learn also how to teach online, how to get your right microphone, develop more into the website, and more into entrepreneurial insight, practical insight on how to grow your business, how to expand your network. Really, I want to help you on a business level and get you taking over the world, really. And always remember, there are women in your community that are waiting for you to start teaching. And yet they may have other belly dancers, but what you bring to them will never be what the other belly dancer, because you're different. And women, there may be a gift that you have, only you have. And women are waiting to have it, and nobody else can give it to them but you. So as you can see, I'm very passionate about this. I dedicated my life, this term especially, really focusing more on the teachers, because I think, because I go gyms every day and I know how much they love it. Again, start from your gym. Finish the level 1. Buy both if you can, so you just go into the full-on knowledge. I've been doing this for 15 years now. I've studied in and out the technique, the isolations, and the history. Level 1 is recognized by the registered exercise professional in the UK. My husband is a fitness expert in the industry. He helped me create the course so that you could have it done, recognized, and teach. But I needed to give the soul part of it, the reason why Rakshak, Egyptian dance, it has ancestors wanting to dance with us. It's written in women's book. We need to be grateful that developed this dance for women. Because as I was saying to you, not only works involuntarily on the chakras. Again, I've had yoga teacher telling me the way belly dance works on the chakra, it's another level. It's so powerful. And when you become a teacher, you will become a better dancer. And that's what happened to me. I became a better dancer by teaching. Because when you teach, you need to break down things. You need to make them simple so you can explain it, but you understand them better. So even if you do it for yourself, even if you're doing it for yourself, it's life-changing. And this, I thought level 1 was the one, like everybody that did it with, I gave my heart and soul to it. Level 2 brought me back to me and how I was obsessed with all of this, and bringing all the history, all these legends, so you get to know them, you get to watch on YouTube. It makes me so proud because I'm honoring them, and they changed my life, you know, thanks to these women moving those body in a most effortless and elegant. And there was always the essence of, that's where you want to come from, a place of, that's why I want to bring dancing away from entertainment and into healing, into being your language, the language of your soul. Words are so overrated. And there's a beautiful video I saw the other day. No matter what you do art. Do art in your life. Paint, dance, draw, write. Because that's the only language your soul knows. This is where you get to know you. We're so busy working and doing everything else. Very few of those things come from our heart. And that's why we're here. That's why we love dancing. And that's why you want to teach it, because there's a language that comes out from that. It doesn't come out from this. Overrated. There's a language that our soul is craving to speak. Our soul is craving to talk to us. Our body is craving to talk to us, because we're always here. So that's my message to you. Any question? before I lose my voice completely. I think I need to leave you now.
For your time today. It's been very wonderful and inspirational. Thank you. I'm definitely going to sign up. So, yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just would like to say thank you, and I would like to encourage ladies to register for level 1. I registered yesterday, and while I was in the beauty salon today, I was going through the guidelines and everything. It's really amazing work, the details and everything. I like it. I love it. Thank you so much, and I wish you good luck.
Oh, you make me cry. I put my heart and soul, and thank you, and thank you. I'm honored. I'm honored, and spread the love in Kuwait. In Kuwait. Oh, that's amazing. I thank you. I love you all. Keep shining.